Okay, good morning class.
Good morning, sir.
So today we're looking at probability. We're looking at the examples for exercise 8. And exercise 8 is on page 20. 27. Okay. Let's cut this. So in this lesson we're going to look at exercise 8 and 9. So yesterday we spoke about this question already, but since it was load shedding, I didn't have an opportunity to do the recording of this lesson. So what I did was I added, because this is a common question asked in the exam, and it weights a lot of marks as well. So what I'm going to do is, I've taken a few examples from another textbook, okay, to enhance your understanding with the explanation of the section. Okay. So the next example, and this is on page 27. The question says simplify normally in the exam, or it says determine or expand. Okay. So where do we start? The sum reads 3x minus 2y all squared minus 4 into x plus 4y into x minus y minus brackets x minus y all squared. Firstly, how many terms are there in the sum? Yeah, 3 terms. What separates terms? Plus and minus signs. So we need to simplify our terms before we can add and subtract them. So, this is a binomial squared, so if you apply the rule, what do we get? 3x squared gives us 9x squared. 3x times negative 2y times 2. We get negative 12xy. And negative y all negative 2y all squared gives you positive 4y squared. Okay, some of you find it a bit confusing. What you can do is you can write the story out twice. So you get 3x minus 2y into 3x minus 2y. Then we do the multiplication. So 3x times 3x is going to give you 9x squared. 3x times negative 2y, negative 6xy. Negative 2y times 3x, negative 6xy. Negative 2y times negative 2y, positive 4y squared. So negative 6xy minus 6xy is negative 12xy plus 4y squared. Okay, so if you're not comfortable in applying the binomial square rule, you can do this method here as well. Okay, as you can see, there's many more steps involved. Okay, but if you are messing up this middle term here, which is often the case, the learner mess up that middle term, then I would suggest rather write it out twice and multiply it down. Thanks, boss. Okay, you guys understand? Yes. Alright. So what we can do on the other side, of course, with the second term, we're going to multiply this out. Remember that the negative 4 is also needs to be multiplied in that bracket. So I'm not going to multiply the coefficient or the number outside the bracket first. We multiply the bracket itself first. So it's going to be negative 4 into. What is x multiplied by 8x? 8x squared. What is x times negative y? Negative xy. What is 2y times 8x? Positive 16xy. And what is 2y multiplied by negative y? Negative 2y squared. And again we have a binomial squared here. So it's minus open brackets. X all squared will give you x squared. For the middle term, it's going to be x times negative y times 2. It's negative 2xy. And then negative y all squared is going to give you positive y squared. Why did I put this bracket here? Okay, tell me, why did I put this bracket here? Because the negative must still be multiplied out. Okay. Because the negative must be still multiplied out, I put the bracket there. Alright. So in our next step, we can do one of two things. I can either add my like terms or I multiply this negative 4 out. And that is what I will be doing, multiply the negative 4 out. And of course, to get rid of this bracket, I multiply the negative into that bracket as well. So what do we have? 9x squared minus 12xy plus 4y squared. What's negative 4 times 8x squared? Negative 32x squared. What's negative 4 times negative xy? Positive 4xy. What's negative 4 times positive 16xy? Negative 64xy. Negative 4 times negative 2y squared? Positive 8y squared. Negative 1 times x squared? Negative x squared. Negative 1 times positive 2y plus 2xy. And negative 1 times positive y squared is negative y squared. Okay. So what do we do now? Look for like terms. So 9x squared. 9x squared is a like term to negative 32x squared, which is a like term to negative x squared. Okay, so 9x squared minus x squared is 8x squared, and 8x squared minus 32x squared is negative 24x squared. You all agree with that? So what is negative 12xy plus 4xy? Negative 8xy. Negative 8xy minus 64xy is negative 72xy plus 2xy negative 70xy. So what is 4y squared plus 8y squared? 12y squared. And 12y squared minus y squared, it's 11y squared. Not so? Okay. And for this sum, there's a minimum of 6 marks here for a sum like this in the exam. Okay, and you will get the sum like this in the exam. Okay. See any confusion? Not yet. Okay. So here's the next one. As I said, this is out of another textbook. So let's look at the sum here. So this is just to enhance your understanding for exercise 8. Okay. So we got 2 into x minus y multiplied by x plus y minus 3 open brackets x minus 2y all squared. So where do we start? How many terms are there firstly? There are 2 terms. Not so. What's the correct terms? Positive and negative signs. So these are your 2 terms. Okay, so the term must be simplified before we can add and subtract. So if you're looking at the first term, what needs to be done here first? We'll multiply the bracket in. Not so. So that will simply be 2 into x multiplied by x squared. There's also what we call the conjugate pair. Okay, but for now, just multiply it out. So x times x squared. X times y is positive xy. Negative y times x is what? Negative xy. What's negative y times positive y? Negative y squared. Minus 3. Again, why am I opening this bracket here? Besides the minus, there's also a 3 that must be multiplied out here. Why did I write this bracket here? The 2 also must still be multiplied into the bracket. Can you see that, people? Okay. So this is again a binomial squared. So what do I do with the first term? Square it. What do we get? X squared. For the middle term is going to be first term, multiply the second term times 2. So what's x times negative 2y? Negative 2xy. Negative 2xy times 2? Negative 4xy. The last term needs to be squared again. So it's positive 4y squared. Okay, you guys sound very quiet. You just look at x minus 2y squared. It could be written out twice. And multiplied out like this. X times x, of course, is x squared. X times negative 2y is negative 2xy. Negative 2y times x is negative 2xy. Negative 2y times negative 2y is positive 4y squared. As you can see, it's like terms, so it's x squared minus 4xy plus 4y squared. Okay, which is exactly that thing. Okay? Again, people, if you're messing this up here and you don't know the rule, follow this method, it's fine. Okay? So what do I do next? Distributive law, get rid of this bracket here. But some of you would also notice that, hang on, this, what can happen here? Cancel. Can cancel, so I could have cancelled that already. Okay? Multiply the negative 3 in as well. So what is 2 multiplied by x squared? 2x squared. Now for those of you who didn't see this, what would you have written? 2xy minus 2xy. Then you cancel it in the next step. Okay? So what's 2 multiplied by negative y squared? Negative 2 y squared. What's negative 3 times x squared? Negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times negative 4xy. Positive 12xy. Negative 3 times positive 4y squared. Negative 12. Do we stop here? No, we can carry on. So now we're going to collect like terms. So 2x squared minus 3x squared. Negative x squared. What's negative 2y squared? Minus 12y squared. Negative 14 y squared. What are we left with? Plus 12xy. It could also be written as negative x squared plus 12xy minus 14y squared. That is in writing in descending powers of x. Okay, that's the normal way, the conventional way of writing it. But if you write it like this, you won't lose anything. Okay. Is there any confusion? Simple, no? Easy. Okay. Let's try and challenge you more. Okay. There's a second of the examples that I took from another textbook. Yeah. The second and then basically the last one taken from another textbook. Okay. So write that down. We've got 3 into x minus 2 times x plus 4 minus brackets x minus 3 all squared plus 4 into x minus 4 x plus 4. Nine marks for a sum like this in the exam. No? Some of you don't get 9 out of 50 even, no? Your chance to get 9 at least.
So does it give me?
No, I didn't say you, but
You're looking at me, sir.
we almost had enough. Okay, so what do we do first? The brackets, he says. How many terms are there? 3 terms. So you're going to multiply this bracket out first. So I get the 3, open a bracket. Why must I open this bracket? 3 must still be multiplied out. Not so. What's x times x? X squared. X times 4x. X times 4. 4x. Yeah, give me the answer already. Negative 2 times x. Negative 2x. Nice. What's negative 2 times 4? Not 6. Yes, nice. He says not 6. Alright. Now we write negative 2 into. So we're going to apply the binomial square rule. No? So we square the first term. So what is x all squared? X squared. For the middle term is going to be x multiplied by negative 3. First term times the second term times 2. So what is x multiplied by negative 3 multiplied by 2? Negative 6x. What's negative 3 all squared? Negative 3 squared. In other words, it will be negative 3 times negative 3, which is? Was negative times negative? Positive, yes. Right. Plus, here I can multiply inside this bracket here. Not so. What's x times x? X squared. What's x times 4? 4x. What's negative 4 times x? Negative 4x. What's going to happen? What is 4x minus 4x? 0. Which is 1.
No.
X to the 0, yes, is 1. No? Okay, let me just write it down. You guys are already confused. X multiplied by 4? 4x. Negative 4 times x? Negative 4x. What's negative 4 times the positive 4? Negative 16. You don't write it here at the bottom, no? It goes next to you. Okay. So what do I do now? Distributive law. No? We can multiply that 3 into the bracket, or we can add the like terms inside the bracket first. In the previous question, what did I do? I first multiplied the terms out. Okay, I actually added as well. I think here, yes. There I multiplied it and then multiplied the 4. What I could have done here was I could have added the like terms there as well. Not so. So you guys can decide any way, which way of the two options you want to do. Okay? As long as you're applying the mathematical rules correctly, you should get the sum correct. So what is 4x minus 2x? What's 4 minus 2? 2. Yes, you guys are showing some promise there. No? You guys know what 4 minus 2 is. So 4x minus 2x. 2x. It's x squared plus 2x minus 8. Is there any like terms inside this bracket here? No. No? It remains x squared minus 6x plus 9. Plus 4 into. What's minus 4x plus 4x? 0, so that cancels. So I'm left with x squared minus 60. Okay. Now what do we do? Distributive law. So 3 times x squared, 3 times 2x, 3 times minus 8. Negative 2 times x squared, negative 2 times negative 6, negative 2 times 9. 4 times x squared and 4 times negative 16. What is 3 times x squared? 3x squared. What is 3 times 2x? 6x. Easy, no? Can't help, maths is so easy in grade 9. What is 3 times negative 8? Negative 24. What's negative 2 times x squared? Negative 2x squared. What's negative 2 times negative 6x? Positive 12x. What's negative 2 times positive 9? Negative 18. Plus 4 by x squared. 4x squared. 4 by negative 16. Negative 64. So what do I do now? Like terms. Group like terms. Not so. So 3x squared is a like term too. 4x squared is a like term too. Negative 2x squared. What is 3x squared minus 2x squared? X squared. Plus 4x squared. 5x squared. Nice. What is 6x plus 12x? What's 6 plus 12? 18. So 6x plus 12x is 18x. Or 18x squared. 18x. Why? When you're adding and subtracting, variables say the same. What's negative 24 minus 18? Negative, so we must add, no? 24 plus 18 is 42. Plus 64, so they give you 106. Correct? So, negative 24 minus 18 is negative 42. The signs are the same, so we add in, no? And negative 42 minus 64 is negative 106. Okay. As I said, there's a lot of marks here involved. Okay. It's only if you want it. No? Then you will go learn this thing. Or this, how to do this, these signs. Okay. People, so today we're going to look at division as well, which is the examples for exercise 9. So we are told the syllabus only requires division of monomials, i.e. one term. So it's basically one term in the denominator. But you have done something like this already in grade 8. This is the first example. Write that down. I'll move a bit slower because yesterday we have actually done the examples for exercise 8 already. Okay. And exercise 9 is on page 28. Okay, so we got 16a squared minus 32a cubed plus 8a squared all over negative 8a squared. Sorry? Sorry? Okay, so just take you one step back. If I got 2 plus 4 plus 6 all over 2. According to BODMAS, what do we do first here? Enumerate, you must add that first. Not so. This could also be written as 2 plus 4 plus 6 divided by 2. Not so. So 2 plus 4? 6 plus 6 is 12, and 12 divided by 2 is? 6. Could I have cancelled that with that name? No. According to BODMAS, the numerator goes first. Not so. But of course, there's another way of doing the same thing. We've got 2 plus 4 plus 6 over 2. What we could have done was we say 2 over 2 plus 4 over 2 plus 6 over 2. What's 2 divided by 2? 1. 4 divided by 2? 2. 6 divided by 2? 3. 1 plus 3? 6 plus 2. No, 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus 2 is 6. What do we notice? The same. So what does that mean? If it's the same, I can do either or. Not so. It's either I can add first, okay, or I can divide first. Whichever one you want to do. No? But look at the sum that we have here as example 1. Can we add these terms on top first?
No.
Why not?
They're unlike terms.
They're unlike terms. Okay? So what does that mean? I have to apply the second method that I've done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put each term over its own denominator of negative 8a squared. You get negative 32a cubed over negative 8a squared plus 8a squared over negative 8a squared. Okay. So now I want you guys to simplify that quickly. Okay. Sorry? Yes, you can also, you don't have to write it down, you can go straight into the simplify. Can you all see? Okay, what is positive divided by negative? Negative. 8 goes into 8 once, 8 goes into 16 once. So it's 2. Where's there more a's? Top. So it's a 4 minus 2 is 3. If you want, you can write that over 1. Okay. The next one, what's negative divided by negative? Positive. 8 goes into 8 once, 8 goes into 32? 4 times. So it's 4. Where's the more a's? Top. So it will be a, 3 minus 2 is 1. Not so. What's positive divided by negative? Negative. 8 cancels 8, a squared cancels 8 squared. So what are we left with? 1. There's the answer. Is there any confusion? Any questions? The second one. Number 2. So do that one quickly. Did you have best sleep of your life ever, no? Tired of what? Are you tired of? School just started. Sorry? But you're inside most now. During break time, you're in the sun. You take your jacket off, your blazer. Oh. Then you won't sleep. Jesus. Right, so what do we do first? We write each one of its own, not so. So it's 24a cubed b over negative 3a squared b. Minus, that's negative then. 12a squared b squared over negative 3a squared b. Plus 3a squared over negative 3a squared b. Do I have to do this middle step? No, you don't need to do the middle. Right. Right. So what's positive divided by negative? Negative. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 24? 8 times. The b's will cancel, not so. There's going to be 8. A. Where's the more a's? On top. So it belongs to top. And this is naturally over 1. Not so. Do I have to write over 1 b? No. What's negative divided by negative? Positive. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 12? 4 times. So it's 4. Where's the more a's? Both? No, they're equal. Top, bottom is the same. So it's cancelled. Were there more b's? Oh, so it's 4. B over 1, which is 4. Right. What's positive divided by negative? Negative. 3 over 3? 1. A squared over a squared? Cancel. 1 over b. Why is it 1 over b? Because b is in the denominator. Can you see that, people? So if I just write b, then that is b over 1, which means to say it's in the numerator. Which is, yes, is wrong. That's 1 over b. Who got that right? Nice. Not everybody is going to get the A for maths, no? Right. You have to go sit at the back, man. Then you will. Are you fine? Nice. People, number 3. Let's spice up your life a bit. You got 4x cubed minus 8x plus 1, and that's all over negative 4x squared. So the pause here. Alright, let's hear from. Okay, here we go. Listen, what do we do first? Each one of its own. Do we have to do this step? No. So it's 4x cubed over negative 4x squared. Minus 8x over negative 4x squared. Plus 1 over negative 4x squared. Okay. So what's positive divided by negative? Negative. 4 cancels 4. Where's there more x's? Top. So it's going to be x. 3 minus 2 is 1. So it's actually negative x over 1, which is negative x. You all agree with that? What's negative divided by negative? Positive. 4 goes into 4 ones, 4 go into 8? 1. So where's there more a's? Bottom. Sorry, x. Yes. So what is 2 minus 1? 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, so there's 1. Do I have to put a 1 there? No. What's positive divided by negative? Negative. 1 over? X. Who got that one right? So you could have helped us out. Okay, then there's another one.
Oh my god.
Of course there's another one.
There's always another one.
No, there isn't. Okay. So that basically brings us to the end of the examples for exercise 9 on page 28. Yes, Michael? Whoa, whoa, whoa. So she wrote negative 0,25 over x squared. Is that what you wrote? Next to. Now then you're going to lose a mark. If you had written it like that, of course, full marks. Okay. Why? Because as you can see here, there's more x's in the denominator. Can you see that? That's why it needed to be in the denominator. Is there any other confusion? No. Okay, so we're going to just mark the homework I gave you yesterday. But let's first stop here. The full lesson can be found in the description box below.